Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do our March the 9th spiritual principle day in a meditation. Hope you're doing well this morning. Let's go ahead and get into the meditation, see what we have, okay? Title of the meditation, One Addict Helping Another in Unity. One addict helping another in unity. Groups flourish with the loving support of addicts helping addicts. We strengthen our unity by participating in each other's recovery. Now that comes from It Works, Tradition 1. After living in turmoil, in fear for so long, the warm and welcoming atmosphere we found in NA meetings may have been puzzling at first. Some of us wondered if we were in the wrong place. We watched as members jumped in to help set up chairs and greeted each other with hugs. This behavior was unfamiliar and yet strangely compelling. Despite our suspicions, we wanted to find out more. Some of us looked for excuses to leave or for reasons that we didn't belong, but found ourselves relating nevertheless. One member recalled, I heard the speaker share about the despair that brought her to rock bottom. She gave voice to my own fears and regrets. It was a moment of clarity for me. I was not alone in my struggles. It dawns on us that NA members understand the desperation and isolation of active addiction because they've lived it. They found a way out and a new way to live. We began to hope that the solution they found would work for us too. Over time, we come to appreciate what once confused us. We grow to value what we see and hear in meetings. We follow the lead of more experienced home group members and participate in some of our meetings' unity building practices. We welcome new members, empathize with each other's struggles, and celebrate the milestones of recovery. We notice what unity does for individual members as well as for the group. The way we treat each other contributes to a vibrant atmosphere of recovery in which members and groups thrive. Group unity starts with one addict helping another. I will be a part of group unity by offering loving support to a fellow member today. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please, and thank you. So we're talking about one addict helping another in unity. And I like that because we always say, the therapeutic value of one addict helping another is without parallel. But how is it without parallel? Exactly. Because we flourish when we're in commune or fellowship with other people. The group proves that. Some of the strangest things can happen at a Narcotics Anonymous meeting. And regardless to how negative or pessimistic a person is, generally speaking, upon arriving to a meeting, there's like this change of energy. Even if you're angry, your eyes notice the miracles around you. Your ears hear the beautiful stories of people hitting rock bottom and surrendering to the disease of addiction and making a decision that they were a member of Narcotics Anonymous because they had the desire to stop using. There's something completely like saying magical to me is like it shortchanges my God, right? So I don't like the terms like lucky and magical, but that's not the point. There's something so miraculous that happens in me and most people when they get in the atmosphere of recovery at a meeting. So here's the point. You're part of that group. Just because you don't participate in doing service work doesn't mean that your presence is not beneficial. Sometimes because I live in the suburbs, right? So sometimes when I go into town and I go to certain meetings, I don't have anything to share. There's nothing on my mind that maybe I heard someone was getting clean time and I want to be in the mix, right? I want to be there when they get that decade or get whatever year or two, right? Maybe that's my motivation. But I'm not personally going because I'm so stressed out. I drive all the way into town to make a meeting that I typically would not attend because I don't think attending home groups far away from an individual is beneficial. For me, just like with anything else I do, I go to the grocery stores that are closest to my home, right? I go to the restaurants that are closest to my home. I believe my home group should be a home group that is close. My home group I can walk to. I literally can walk to my home group in less than 15 minutes. Literally. Okay. So it's in my, community. So the point is that when I arrive at those meetings that I would say are out of town for me, my presence sometimes trigger uh, different responses in different people. But the majority of the time, if it's not someone that still has a beef with me or a resentment because of something I said, right? When I show up, they're like, man, when I looked across the room and saw you sitting there and I'm getting my clean time, I remember the 12-step call you and so did with me. And you were like, this is not just about you, but it's got to be about you right now. What you gonna do? Right? Talking like a drill, a drill sergeant to them. And they remember. There's one lady in the program. If I show up in the meeting that she's at, she immediately starts to weep, right? Because she remembers 20 years ago when she relapsed with 16 years clean. And she remembers me coming to her home while she was high and sitting with her and letting her have a conversation with me to the best of her ability. And it benefits her because it's the therapeutic value of one addict helping another and me lending my heart and lending my ears, even though I may not necessarily need to be there to share anything. My presence brings something to the atmosphere of recovery, and your presence brings something to the atmosphere of recovery. Show up at a meeting with your heart and your ears wide open to just show support. That that may seem like that's not a big deal. How is that anything? Yeah, it's a lot because that's how we contribute and help one another in the spirit of unity. And the things that we notice that are miraculous or touch our hearts, even when we're in a bad mood at these meetings in our home group, right? When we notice that, it fuels our own recovery in such a subtle way you can not is sometimes you don't even know how beneficial it is till you're starting to leave that atmosphere. And then you start to associate, I'm going to chaos, and I just left a meeting that had the atmosphere recovery, and people were hugging each other, loving up on each other, listening to each other, affirming one another. And I'm headed home, and I've got to bring that juice. I've got to bring what I just received into my home. I saw a sign yesterday at Hobby Lobby, and the sign said, your measure of growth is how do you treat the people you live with. Right? So I get to practice with you guys, and then I get to take it. It's kind of like, you guys give me all of the juice and energy I need to succeed in being a great mom and a beautiful wife, right? You guys do that for me, and we want to do it for you as well. Group unity starts with one addict helping another. Today, let's decide to be a part of group unity by offering loving support to a fellow member today. Go ahead. I double dog dare you. Reach out to somebody that you know needs to be reached out to. Text them. Hey, this is Mighty Stream. I was just wondering if I could give you a call real quick. Or I was wondering, when could I call you? I want to ask you something. And they're probably like, huh? What? I haven't heard from her in forever. Like, why? What? And the anticipation anytime, generally, sometimes people are so fearful. They're like, never, no time is a good time. I'm really busy. Right? Not realizing that the question I want to ask them is just, hey, I remember when you were sharing about such and such. How's that going? Or I'm just wondering how you doing. I didn't want nothing. I was just trying to do what, March 9th said in Spiritual Principles a Day and reach out to somebody. And I chose you. You're on my mind. How are you? It's real simple, folks. And I know we need practice in that area. I'm not trying to dismiss your shyness or anxiety or whatever that holds you back. I'm not trying to dismiss that, excuse me, at all. But I'm just saying it's very simple. Do that one thing for that one fellow member and see how it makes you feel. If it makes you feel horrible, then I guess, don't do it again. But if you feel some sort of awakening of your spirit and a sense that, wow, I can still be nice to people, or it's still there, that love for others is still there. It's just been buried in all of the active addiction. Yeah, that's your spirit waking up. And do it again. If you notice that you benefit, do it again. Maybe do it more in a day than just one person. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you. It's been a beautiful morning with you. It's 3:47 a.m. and I don't even know what I'm gonna do next, but I know it's gonna be something to do with cleaning, probably. Um, I want for you to do something for yourself. I want for you to make sure today you have a beautiful day. No matter what it is that you're going through, I want you to make up your mind before things start showing up on your schedule that you didn't invite. I want for you to make up your mind that you're not going to blow it out of proportion and you're going to have a beautiful day on purpose. It'll do you wonders to make that decision now. Talk to you tomorrow.